going on? What up, crew? What's up? What's up? What's up? I know y'all looking like it's 2:20 a.m. What is Roman doing up? Listen, I wanted to talk about this early this morning, and I didn't go live this morning. So I said, well, let me just do this before I do our show this morning. Now, this is a viral video that went viral on Twitter from TikTok, and it's a cousin, an older cousin, and she's doing the makeup of her younger cousin. He made the request and she obliged. And when I tell you it's caused so much turmoil, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. I got a lot of different things we're going to talk about it, but I wanted to get everybody's opinion. So I'm going to give it a little bit more time for people to come in the room. Hopefully everybody got their notifications. Good morning, Naries. Naries, you up late or maybe you up early? Cheryl, thank you for coming through, Cheryl. Good morning to you, Cheryl, or good evening. I what time is it? 2? I got in at like midnight and decided I was like, oh yeah, let's go talk about this. Walk my little baby. So we here. So I'm gonna drop the link. Let me pin this link too, because if anybody got any comments that they want to add, feel free to add. Now, where do I add this link? Okay, hold on, hold on. Copy. Oh, early. I'm just getting for work. Oh, baby. Baby. Not like nobody gonna hit the link though. Everybody probably knocked out or into the mess. I'm trying to draw myself way away and away and away from the mess, y'all. I really am. All right, hold on. Let me pin this in the chat really quickly. Please feel free if you want to hit the link. All right, message pin. All right. So let me give it about another minute. Y'all come on in. Make sure y'all hit that like button too. Give me some love. Give me some love before I get going. Give me some love. And thank you too for you 3, you 4. Okay, I see it now. You 4 for being here. um, give people some more time, baby. We'll be fine. All right. Oh, it's still us. All right. Let's get into it. So, y'all, check this video out first. Now, the first thing that I saw when I came upon this was this tweet. So it was, I did my little cousin's makeup today, and I don't know, this moment made me feel very warm inside. So as you can see, it's 3.2 million views. And so quite a lot of people saw this, and it rotated heavily on Twitter. And so here is the actual clip of of what she did to her little cousin. Check this out, and make sure y'all hit that like button. And shout out to the replay crew. Thank y'all for supporting me always.
That's funny. Okay, do this. Mm-hmm. Ah! You look sickening, darling. Do you want to see it? Okay, look at yourself.
Oh my days.
Okay, get inside.
This is so nice.
It looks pretty there.
Thank you, Jessie.
You're welcome. Do you like it? Okay, cool. But yeah.
Now, that was the clip of what was posted online. You can actually see, him. He's very excited about it. She was excited to do it. It wasn't anything that she presented to him. He actually asked her, would you put some makeup on? And I think it was his birthday, from what I was getting from reading the exhaustive amount of tweets. I went through all the tweets to pull out the good ones, the bad ones, and what we should talk about. So she obliged. She wanted to put makeup on him. And the conversation went so many ways about this. Now, the first thing that I saw was I looked at the child's face as she was applying the makeup and after she was done applying the makeup. And I was like, oh, wow, he looks really happy. Now I'm going to play this clip again, and I want you to notice the child's expression. I want you to notice her expression. I didn't get an age, but we all believe that he's under the age of 10 or 11. And so I don't know his specific age, but we do know that he's under the age of 6. Like, he's not an adult. We're not talking about a 16 or older or a teenager or anything like that. He's definitely under the age. And so, I looked at it. I had, a couple of reservations, but I honestly can say that, let's just check this out again. Check this out again.
That's funny. Okay, do this. Mm-hmm. Ah! You look sickening, darling. Do you want to see it? Okay, look at yourself.
Oh my days.
Okay, get inside.
This is so nice.
It looks pretty there.
Thank you, Jessie.
You're welcome. Do you like it? Okay, cool. But yeah.
Now, upon initial reaction, like, do you think it's inappropriate is the biggest question here. Do you think it's inappropriate for her to be applying makeup to her little nephew? A lot of people were offended. A lot of people rose to the occasion. I personally, let me make sure I have this here. I personally wasn't offended. However, I also asked myself, I wonder if the rule applies, of a certain age, you can't put makeup on in the household. And if that same thing would apply to him. Well, before we could even get there, we had this first woman pop out, and she said, why do y'all want Black little boys to be gay and feminine so bad? And my whole thing, because she kept going, this one girl kept going. My whole thing is, if you feel like this one moment, this one instance between a little cousin and his cousin makes him gay or makes her feminize him, what does that say about the parents? What are you saying about the parents? So we got that. Well, it didn't stop there, y'all. So it's this guy responds to her and say it's a population control tactic. Facts. More gay Black men means less organic Black families. And I said, how in the fuck, how does that work? Now, I could understand them saying that if that was a father doing that, or if that was a mother doing that, but we're talking about between a cousin and a little cousin. We're not talking about a parent and a child. We're talking about, I used to hang with my little female cousins all the time when I was younger. All the time. That didn't necessarily mean that I certainly wasn't putting on their clothes. I certainly wasn't wearing their makeup. I certainly wasn't doing none of that stuff. And that certainly didn't aid or take away from me being gay. So I thought that was crazy. First, I'm like, damn, do they not realize they're cousins first? We're not talking about her father. No, we're not talking about her father. We're talking about her cousin. She says it. I did my little cousin's makeup today, and I don't know. This moment made me feel very warm inside. Now, I don't know if she felt warm inside because he had basically been telling her, things about himself, and she felt like she was able to help him express himself. I don't know if that's what she meant. And so the girl, facts. More gay black men means less organic black families. So let's break that down. So if you're saying more gay black men means less organic black families, what does it mean for the single parent families where it's only a mother and the children, or when the mother is murdered by the father? Is that organic to you? Like, we need to define organic, because a lot of times in a more than none, it isn't the gays that's impacting black families and black households. No, not at all. You guys have us. You have gay children. We're not certainly there. We're not happy. We're of sort of adopting, and some of us are having kids. We're raising them, but to say that we are making it less organic, well, let's define organic, okay? So she goes on and says this rant. Now, I just thought it was funny that she took all of this from this little clip. Facts. More gay black men means less organic black families. Now, I know it ain't a lot of people here. I would not have posted it to social media because of his age. Friend, that's a good point, and that's something I'm gonna touch on in one of the comments too. That's a good point. And somebody brings up the issue, like, so where are the parents? Where are the parents? Certainly, where are the parents? Now, Neres, would you, is this something that you will look at and say, oh, she's making him feminine, or she's trying to make him gay? Because you can also say the same about teachers when they put face painting on children in classrooms. Does that make them gay? Does that make them turn on to a different form of lifestyle? To me, it's just like we're looking at this one incident. Oh, he's gay all of a sudden because he got paint on his face. Okay, we're going a little too far. Now, so we get this next one. Straight black men are walking away from the families and children every day. Let's start there. Now, I just said that. I said that. Now, what I don't want to do is make this into a bashing, black men, straight black men. Certainly don't want to. But a lot of times you see when issues like this come to the forefront, it's the straight black men who insert themselves and have so much to say. And then you leave open on the table all y'all fucking issues. Like, what? I do a whole show 3 times a week, and 9 times out of 10, there's a story that's not talking about black gays. It's talking about the influence of a straight black man on a family, not us. He's not raised. This little boy ain't raising no family. She ain't raising him. It's the mom and dad. That's his cousin. If the mom and dad thinks it's wrong, that's a different thing, and that's why That's why it's something for me to talk about, because it's a cousin. Now I get what Fran J just said. It shouldn't have went on social media. Now she really should have watched that, because there are a lot of perverts who may take from this and say, oh, something else. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about that. That is a very good point. No, clearly he wanted it, and that's what I was looking at, his facial expression. It made him happy. Now, when I first started watching it, I said, oh, look at him. And then she said, as she was fixing the makeup, and I said, oh, wow, okay. Also, I would have mentioned and discussed this with his parents, whether the little cousin was male or female, first, to ensure they are okay with makeup being applied to their younger child. Friend, that's what I was saying. That's exactly what I was saying. I was like, now, the first issue I would have here is it okay to put makeup on your child at what age? You get the parent consent, which would allude to getting parental consent. That's me. As a gay man, got little nephews, little cousins. If any time something like that comes arise and I have to question myself of whether it's okay or not, I would definitely ask the parent. I would ask the parent, oh, that's similar to, if my cousin doesn't feed her kids pork, but I love bacon. So every time I cook bacon at her house and they want a sneaker piece, I say, I got to go ask your mom. I just got to ask her, because I know for me, I can't clearly answer that question because I know how she feels about it. So I'm going to ask cuz 9 times out of 10, they can get a little piece, but still I needed to ask. So I got that whole angle. Now, let's say the parent and the mom and the dad say, oh, that's fine, that's cool. Would it still be an issue? To me, that's indicative of parents who are solid in the raising of their child. They're fine with that. They're okay. All right. Now we're gonna see in some of these comments, you're gonna get some men that's like, well, hold up. And you're gonna get some women who actually are like, well, hold up. But I think it's open for discussion because as society is changing and things are progressing, and children are becoming more, they're allowed more opportunities to express themselves. I think we need to start having these conversations about how within our own community do we take take on this role. Because one, A, it ain't gay bashing. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The whole gay bashing thing, saying, all of that, it ain't gonna work. Because 9 times out of 10, your child either getting makeup putting on and him turning gay or not turning gay, I promise you it wasn't because he put makeup on. Do you know how many times my mother applied makeup on my face as we used to go to Halloween? And it wasn't like, but we used to, I think I was like a clown one year and she put some powder on my face. My brother was in a pumpkin and leaves suit. That wasn't me being gay. And I certainly don't go back and say, oh, let me put it on my face, but it's not equivalent to making me gay. I don't even think about moments like that. I don't think about that. It isn't like, oh, I can pinpoint a moment, oh, that's when I knew. No, I can say when I had feelings. See the difference? I had feelings for the opposite sex, which then makes me define. But me doing all me putting that don't define. I can do whatever the fuck I want to do. It's weird. And the more I see this stuff, the more I understand why it's so important for people to understand the ways in which people express themselves. You can cause more harm to this child by yelling at him and saying, that was wrong. You've now stunted somebody who wanted to be either creative. This could have been the next Broadway performer for the family, but you've just now shunned that shit. Now, we could all say whether it's appropriate or not. I get that. But at the same time, now that it's out here and we saw the video, I think it's a way in which we handle this. And parents are jumping in these comments and they're going crazy. Now, for those, I know I only got a few people that just stopped in the room, but I'm going to play this clip one more time for you so you can see what clip we're talking about. Older cousin, applied makeup to her little cousin's face at his request. And we're here.
That's funny. Okay, do this. Mm-hmm. Ah! You look sickening, darling. Do you want to see it? Okay, look at yourself.
Oh my days.
Okay, get inside.
This is so nice.
It looks pretty, man.
Thank you, Jessie.
You're welcome. Do you like it? Okay, cool. But yeah.
And you know what else it also does? It feeds into the misogynistic, the machoism, that it feeds all into that, which we know is toxic male energy, male toxicity. Because I instantly thought, okay, so what if a little girl, right, came home and said, hey, Ma, I joined the basketball team. Are you supposed to then shun her from doing that because it's not appropriate? You're making her masculine when this could be the next WNBA superstar. You see how it works on both sides? Like, you really have to think about that's an act. We're not talking, you have to think about the whole raising of a child, the complete raise. If this one moment turns your child gay, I'm not talking to the cousin. I need to talk to them parents. What do you mean? How much time have you spent with your child? And regardless, don't think that one thing can turn. If somebody is gay, I'm going to tell you right now, it ain't nothing that did that. That has always existed. And there's things and moments and experience in people's lives that either tell them to bring it out or not. And that's why you got DL and Trey, people they won't, but it's an experience. It's a moment. It's definitely not. Do not believe that I can go get my little cousin a Barbie doll and say, hey, here. First because he's raised by his mother and father, he's going to probably look at me like, what am I supposed to do with that? That's the difference. That's what I'm saying. And so when I saw this clip, I said, well, why are they putting all this angst on the little cousin? It's not, I don't think that, if they're fine, but like Fran J said in the chat, and shout out to Karma Cattell. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I wanted to get this out before this morning show. Putting makeup on a boy's face won't trust me. How many actors, how many child actors, how many Broadway, how many performers have makeup applied on their face? So what are we saying? How does that work? What is it because he enjoyed it and he liked it and you never saw that? Well, that's something you have to internalize and deal with those feelings. You have to ask yourself, why am I so mad about something like this? And so comments continue. So then we had this lady after, so straight black men are walking away from the families and children every day. Let's start there. So a guy replied, so create more gays. Is that it? Here we go with this create. Do you create more gays? Like somebody just said, okay, so we're going to make you gay. That's not how it works, sir. You sound ignorant as fuck. So create more gays. Is that it? And God forbid you have a gay child, because then what would that say about you? Create more gays. Do you think parents, when they're having a child, their first statement is, okay, this one right here, this one, he gonna be gay. Not him, but this one, he gonna be gay. You sound ignorant as fuck. And then to think that applying makeup means that you're creating a gay. Do you know how many people would be applying fucking makeup? And do you know how many people would be gay because the makeup has been applied? It's weird. It's weird. So we get apply more makeup, so create more gays. Is that it? Well, then somebody asks her, genuine question, why did you do it? And she replies, because he wanted to. And so this man goes, but yet you could have said no, and instead show him other ways to use makeup that's age appropriate for him. Clown makeup, fake tattoos, really no excuse to feminize a male child this young of an age like this. Now, here we go back to this. So I just want to understand. So the opposite of that is what? You say really no way to feminize a child at this age. So what is the opposite of what you're saying? If you're saying she's feminizing him, don't feminize him, then do what? The Boosie roll or the video we saw the other day where the woman was throwing ass on the child? That's that. Now that would have, now see that. Do I got that clip still? Now that, I'm sure that would have, that's up. Now that's up. That's up. But this right here is wrong. Here we go with the double standards, the stupid ass double standards, by the way, from some ignorant ass people. You have ignorant ass fucking adults who say shit like this. And it kills me because they have little kids, little children, all kind of people in their lives. And this is the shit they think of. Damn, I don't think I have that clip. Let me see. Do I got the clip of her ridiculous ass? What show did I do that on? 24th, 25th. Was it the 24th show? No. Was it the 20th show? Nah, I don't know. I can't find the clip no more. Either or was inappropriate, and she shouldn't have did it. Nah, I can't find it. But if you watch my other video, the woman was shaking her ass in front of her child at the store. Is that supposed to be okay and appropriate? Again, going from homophobia to being pedophilic. So I didn't understand that either. And her because because he wanted to. But yet you could have said no and instead show him other ways to use makeup that's age appropriate for him. Now, let me stop there. I didn't know that at certain ways and ages that there's certain ways that you can show. So are you saying that there's certain ways that she could show a male, a him, appropriate ways to apply makeup? That sounds crazy as hell. It sounds like a double standard. So now there is a way for her to apply makeup, but the way she did it wasn't appropriate. Are we fucking applying makeup or not? Are we drawing pictures or not? What are you talking about? So I didn't understand that him instead show him other ways to use makeup that's age appropriate for him. Okay, so you're saying it's okay. Are we saying it's okay or not? Clown makeup, fake tattoos. Who the fuck wants, he didn't want clown makeup. He wanted the makeup that he got. Did you not see his face when he did it? The boy was.
That's funny. Okay,
And again,
Mhm.
cousin, little cousin.
Ah! You look sickening, darling.
That's
you
not
wanna
her
see it?
child.
Okay, look at yourself.
Oh my days.
I can get inside.
Now, mind you,
It looks pretty there.
Thank you, sis.
you don't.
You're welcome. Do you like it? Okay, cool. But yeah.
Now, in some fucking places, some countries, some towns, the makeup that he has on his face can be considered like a part of a show or something. I've seen little children with makeup like this on their faces, performing costume makeup, performance makeup. I've seen that before. Now granted, again, like we said, she should have definitely asked the parents, especially before uploading it, especially even if she applied it. Now let's say she did and she got approval. Does it make it wrong? Because if the parents are approving it, I don't understand the problem. And you can't create another gay. You can't create a gay. Are you kidding me? Do you know how many people will be created? And so this woman responds, and everything we want is good for us. I have only 3 nephews for now, and I will not put makeup on any of their faces. Okay. So that's wonderful. That's you. That's great. That's wonderful. I'm glad to know, girl. I'm glad you got your values, your traditional. That's wonderful to know. That's great. That's something you hold on to. So we know that if we go to your house and your nephews are there, that's something we don't expect. Got it. I don't understand how you perceive what you would do should be the way somebody else perceives what they should do. But okay, I get it. It's up for commentary, and this is how you feel. And so she goes on, I don't smack them, but by God, I will smack sense into them. If they ask me to make up on their face, now from clap dance, they start. Meaning she'll smack them. She don't smack them, but she'll smack them if they ask for makeup. So I wonder if they came and asked you, let's say, for a toy gun at an inappropriate age, would you go and get that? That seems a little bit more. That's appropriate. Or let's see, what else? A violent video game, is that more appropriate? So you got to be careful about, are you creating an environment for male toxicity? Because then they grow up in worlds thinking that's okay, and that shit is not okay. Your children shouldn't shun someone else's child for the way they want to express themselves, unless your children can be shunned as well. And that's how I feel. Grown as man, grown as hell, and that's how I feel. Absolutely. What else did she say? Oh, that's what she said. Someone else said, what if he wanted weed? So if he wants to smoke crack. So I said, oh, we comparing drugs to makeup now. So we're really comparing weed and crack to makeup. You ask yourself, if a child came up to you and said, I want some weed, are you gonna give them weed? Let's just be fucking logical about this. Let's not be dumb about this. Are you gonna give your child some weed? Because some half you bitches, we know you will. I couldn't even play the videos of the kids smoking weed, father holding this child on the kitchen counter and then passing it to the child. That's okay. And that was a young baby. That what we're talking about, couldn't even walk. But this right here is absurd. So if that's feminizing a child, what would be giving a child drugs? Preparing a world for violence and jails? Well, like, you can't say one is right and the other isn't. It makes no sense to me. And how are we comparing weed and crack to makeup? The fuck, you put makeup in front of me, weed and crack, I'm gonna choose the makeup myself. Now, if you put weed in front of me, of course, but like, there's no comparison. There should not ever be a choice when it comes to that. TJ Holmes wear makeup on the news every day, baby. The picture I had up of on the thumbnail looked like he got makeup on. And thank y'all for being here too. Make sure y'all hit that like button too. Give me a little love. We up chilling. And I pinned the link if anybody want to add to it or got something to say about it. I would appreciate, like, if you're a parent, your comments, like how you feel about it, because I definitely want to know what the parents think. So then we had this other cop. He's a child, for Christ's sake. Do you give a child anything he asks for? Come on, you can do better as an adult. Be logical here. I know the numerous likes make you feel validated, but whatever you're doing to the young boy is wrong. And so the first thing I thought was, come on, you can do better as an adult. Be logical here. I know the numerous likes make you feel validated, but whatever you're doing to the young boy is wrong. Now, mind you, if you go to her page, her Instagram page, she has she does makeup. She puts on makeup on a lot of different things. So little cousin obviously sees older cousin doing this, asks her, can she do this for him? This isn't a every day we're doing this. You're doing to him. Doing implies, okay, tomorrow we're gonna do this. We're gonna put nails on, and we're gonna. This was an one-time moment thing she was excited about. Do you see the tweet? I did my little cousin's makeup today, and I don't know, this moment made me feel very warm inside. This wasn't a We're doing it all the time. This was I did it. And this was the only video I saw on her page. So it baffles me that this one moment makes people feel like, oh my God, you're creating a gay. Look what you're doing to him. Tomorrow he's gonna be all over. What are we so concerned about sex and sexuality when it comes to gay and the gay culture that we can't separate the two? That doesn't mean that man is the boy is going to be, it doesn't mean that. Y'all got to stop that. I'm telling you, because what you do is you stunt your own child's growth. Now, there's one thing of a parent who does not want that. That's different. I can't tell a parent how to raise their children. I will never do that. But this is a little cousin to another cousin. And I think that role starts with the parents. And if the parents said it's okay, who are we to judge? Who are we to come in? So then we got, after we got her, makes you feel validated, but whatever you're doing to the young boy is wrong. Now, mind you, I told you she got multiple makeup videos. She don't need this to make her feel validated. The only reason this went so far is because he's a young boy and people think she's feminizing him. More than, and half the fucking time, it ain't even, it's the society feminizing him. Now you're pushing, oh, you got the makeup on. Now you're gay. You're gay. Oh, yeah, you're gay. What do you think that does to him? What that negates everything that the father, the mother have instilled in the child and how they raise the child just from this one fucking moment. Are you kidding me? I don't take from that. So then you had someone else say, this is the man. Dareem, where is that boy's father? He needs to set you and that boy straight and told that boy's wearing makeup isn't acceptable behavior. Now, set somebody straight. Let's say for all intents and purposes, the father said it was okay. Let's say for all intents and purposes, the child is enrolled in some art theater classes and has had makeup on before and is no indication that this means anything to him. So who will he be setting straight, sir? You sound like you got a whole household full of nothing but ugly, non-creative, and told that boys wearing makeup isn't acceptable behavior. So my question becomes, what do you do when they become professionals where they must wear makeup, where they have to wear makeup? All of this toxic behavior. And it's crazy because some of the people we love on TV, our favorite rappers, Drake and all them, they put makeup on. Are you kidding me? They put a little makeup on. Does that mean they're gay? No. Yeah, they're adults. They have the right to make that decision. Well, child actors put makeup on too. Does that mean they're gay? No. That does not mean they're gay. You have children, the dancing dolls, they perform in a lot of different things around the country, and they're young as hell. They put makeup on their face. Does that mean that they should be overly sexualized? And that means that they should be, that's feminizing them? No, it's part of the costume. It's part of it all. Like, for real, we got to get out of these traditional and stuck norms. Now, this is how I feel about it. I know we all got different opinions about this, but this is how I feel about it. And if anybody is wrong in this situation, I think it's us who take on our own perceptions of what we see and apply it to other people. I instantly look at this and I went for happiness. Like, oh wow, look at her. Look at him. He's happy. And look at her. Some people went and was like, wow, she's trying to make him gay. God damn it. We don't know what this boy does in his real life and what he doesn't do. So he says that you get another comment. Putting on makeup doesn't make anyone gay. Not putting on makeup doesn't ensure anyone is straight. Being gay or not isn't a choice. You're born that way. Get a clue. You're making no sense at all with this, yet you're digging your heels in and doubling down on hate and lies. And it's the truth. I'm telling you now, it don't make you gay. Because if it has to work both ways. If putting on makeup makes someone gay, then taking it off should make them straight, right? If putting weave on someone makes them gay, then taking it off should make them straight, right? If someone is having sex with men and they stop and having sex with women, then they should be straight, right? So it doesn't make sense. Things don't make people gay. I'm trying to tell y'all that. And a smart person would know that and stop acting so stupid. And I hate the fact that it's always, when it's in the black culture, the first people to jump to the occasion and call something a thing when it's nothing are these black men. Then you have sprinkle of black women jumping out there saying the same thing. It just comes from traditional, and I'm gonna say this, and you can be mad at me, but a lack of understanding. Because just how you see the world and how you live in the world, baby, that ain't the only perception. Just because you think what you think is right, that ain't the only fucking thing that's right. You lose a lot of things and a lot of people, and children lose a lot of experiences because of this. And then we wonder why a lot of times our culture suffers. Yeah, well, we first got to look from within. And so I hated the fact that she was shunned for doing something that he wanted her to do. I hated that. Um, and I enjoyed the fact that we didn't even, no one talked about, oh, it's a great moment seeing a child happy. And none of that because you couldn't see past the makeup. Now, I wondered if she was giving him a basketball, opening the basketball, would it have gotten that many views? Would that many black men would have dropped down and said, oh, wow, great job. That's what I like to see. No, but it's easier to attack the negative. It's easier to be negative, and it's easier to say the dumb shit than it is to find something positive and constructive to say. It's crazy. And the gays aren't going nowhere, and ain't nobody creating them. You can't just wake up one day and say, okay, I want my son to be gay. I want my son to be straight. No, you know how many people will be straight and gay? It don't work like that. Stop saying that dumb shit, sounding ignorant. And at these older ages, it don't work like that. It doesn't. Then we had this other one. You can't turn someone gay. If being exposed to gay and feminine men makes you gay, then you were gay all along, which is true. And then someone dropped down and says, LOL, no, it kills me how y'all reasoning only applies for when someone turns gay. But when they come out, they was always gay. That's what we're saying, dummy. We're always saying you can't turn someone gay, you can't turn them ungay. So when someone comes out, we're always saying, yeah, because it's always been there. I've said that before. You sound dumb. It kills me how y'all reason it only applies for when someone turns gay, but when they come out, they was always gay. Okay, yeah, you go somewhere. You apply that logic. I hope you have a great life. Someone says there's a lot of black women who are homophobic over a gay son, but will flirt and make out with other women when they are drunk. Hmm. And there goes the double standard and that whole toxic culture of what a male and woman's supposed to be in the stereotypical roles. Now I get that's how some people raise their households to be. This is what I want. But oftentimes you find that it's in those households where you find people because they've been stunted and they can't do this. And they, I always think about the church folks and their kids. They end up being the biggest freaks, the biggest, out here doing some of the worst stuff because they were so restricted and so limited and they couldn't express themselves. And that's why I said we got to do a better job at learning how to allow people to express themselves within our own perception of how they should be expressed. Because you can't you can't do that shit. This boy is gonna obviously grow up. There's this moment and it's gonna either he is gay or he isn't before this or after. It doesn't mean she's ignited anything, because if that's the case, I'm gonna tell you, what does that mean for the parents? That's why I always say parents should not be feeling bad. Oh, I feel bad, my son is gay. Why are you feeling bad? What, you think you did something that made your child gay? Because if you got the solution, bitch, you need to go write a white paper and go to Congress. Other than that, no, you ain't no special than the next person. You just got a gay child. Ain't no rhyme or reason to it, y'all. It ain't no secret in the sauce. It ain't no, you've been touched. And I always say that. So when y'all say that a man has been touched in his childhood days, that's what made him gay. What the fuck does that mean about girls when they were younger being touched and they came out to be mothers and wives? Why they ain't gay? I just don't get the logic. I always try to, okay, so if that works for that, that works for that. It don't make sense. It's the same kind of logic. Either you were or you weren't. A moment or an experience exacerbated those feelings, and then we're here. And for some people, it was sexual assault. For others, they grew up and they were able to just naturally walk into themselves, naturally come out. Some people wait a whole lifetime, go through marriage, kids, and then decide they want to come out. You think it was just after the marriage they decided it? No, that shit has always been there. They just were able to suppress it more than others. So get out of that. Do I think this was wrong for her to apply makeup? No. Do I think it was wrong for her to record it? If She didn't have the approval of the parents. Do I think it was wrong for her to put it up on Twitter? Yes, all the way around. Because you have so many people who are perverted, so many people who are negative, looking to do the most dumbest negative things when it comes to kids and children on the Twitter, on these social media platforms. So no. But do I think she's turning him gay? No. No, I don't. She would need to do a whole lot more than that to turn him gay. I'll just be honest with you. Ain't no damn makeup on putting on the makeup on the child is gonna turn that child gay. You would need to do a lot more than that. That means that every time you've given your child a compliment when they were dressed up nice and you've done the best, that all of that is negated for this one moment that this child got makeup on. Oh, you look nice, negates all those times you've given your child positive reinforcement, positive feedback, been a great parent. All of that goes out the window because he got makeup on. How does that sound? Like, let's be for real. Let's be for real. It's crazy. Same with fathers. All those moments you've had with your child, this one moment has made your child gay. How does that make you feel? So you got to be careful. Are you either restricting your child or you allowing them to be themselves within your own structure? I'm not saying they can go run around the house in heels. If you don't allow that behavior, that's fine, but you do know that behavior exists. So now that we know that behavior exists, what are the rules within the operating? You're not, or how are you talking about that? How are we having a conversation about it? Like I told y'all before, if my child was 8, I think we were talking about a child that was 8 years old and he was a son and said, Dad, I want to wear girls' clothing. My first reaction would be, that's for my child. Do you understand the consequences that come with that? We need to break that down because see, I'm not putting nobody out in the world who don't understand the shit they're getting into. Period. I don't care what you say. So if that's what you want to do, son, let me help guide you so that when you go out there and you're dealing with people like this on these tweets, you know exactly what you're dealing with. Now, granted, you ain't buying your clothes. I'm buying your clothes. So it would definitely be a conversation. When you get to an age where you can buy your own clothes, I'll be all for what you want to do. For now, we'll just do this. Now, if that means that I'm restricting the behavior, no, that means I've accepted the behavior. Now, what I'm going to do is this is how we're going to operate moving forward. I'm not making you feel bad. I'm not, none of that. You can talk about it, open communication. And this is what I'm saying. You have to allow that because restricting and not allowing any conversation or any openness, you're creating a whole world of when it's time for them to get out that nest, act a fucking fool. You think just a makeup was a moment. No. So you gotta do a better job of that. So saw that comment. Then I saw this one. Black people being gay ain't never stopped nobody from having kids. Food deserts and poverty and alcoholism and white supremacy not even stopping us from growing in numbers. Period. Now, do you see all those other issues? Food deserts, poverty, alcoholism, white supremacy. Are you saying all of those things supersede? Okay, supersedes makeup on a face of a child? What are we doing? And so I go back to the original comment that was made here. Why do y'all want black little boys to be gay and feminist so bad? And I say to myself, if this one moment makes somebody gay and feminine, we got a fucking problem. That means everybody is accepted. And it ain't even like that. I saw this one comment that this guy made, and I thought it was a really, really good comment. He was trying to sum it up because there's always hate within our own community, and he goes, a lot of people, black gays, are not as progressive and open-minded as they think they are when it comes to anything outside of what they deem normal or respectable for themselves. They get to ranting and judging just like the conservatives they claim to hate. And that's why I always say that you have your own opinion. Like in a lot of ways I'm traditional and conservative, but I will never shun somebody in expressing themselves. I will never defeat or remove that opportunity for you to express yourself. I think that's the greatest thing or liberty we have is self-expression. I feel this way. Granted, when you're a child, you're under a lot of different rules. and you're under authority of your parents. So you can't truly express yourself the way you want to. But I do think that door needs to be open once it's cracked, once it's noticed, once that conversation is there. Now, a child coming up to you saying, "Hey, I want to put makeup on my face." There's a conversation to be had, but that does I don't want you to immediately go, "Oh, you're gay. You want to be feminine." Because no, what you're doing now is putting a thought. Now you're becoming that thought. Because they're gonna the reaction is gonna be, "Oh, you're gay? You want to be gay?" That's negative in nature. Well, let's say your child is, and this moment doesn't do anything. Now you just told them that if they were ever to tell you that they were gay, you're gonna be. Ugh. You got to be very careful about how you restrict people in expressing themselves, especially when it comes to your children getting older, especially our black gay children, our black gay boys, and it's not always, they're not going to be great carry on the legacy or the family. There's so many ways to carry on black culture and black legacies. I say it all the time. People think that just by having kids means that you can. Oprah has no kids, but I guarantee you that legacy carries on. Now let's drop that down to the common person. I guarantee you, my legacy will definitely carry on. There's so many ways to do so. You can adopt a child. You can create foundations. You can help out in the community. You can be a foster parent. You can do all of those things. And then people, what about your own lineage? Some people don't want to have kids. You have women who don't want to have kids. What about their lineage? You have men who don't have kids. What about their lineage? There's so many other aspects. Why is it always laser focused on black gays stopping shit? If we got that much power, it would have been stopped. It ain't that. It is not that. It's because a lot of times the response is easier to shift the responsibility on what you deem the most weakest, which is black gay men, instead of looking at the straight black men who are out here committing the crimes and doing the time. Um, it's a sad thing. I felt bad because she really thought, this girl on her Twitter page, she really felt good about this, and she was trying to get to everybody's comments. And I felt bad for her. I'm like, wow, you as the cousin, because she was saying she was coming, like, he asked me. I'm his cousin. He sees me doing makeup all the time. I do tutorials. This is her thing. So for me, it was never a question of, it was like, oh, okay, just go and do it. The feminine of this all, it'll be funny years later, they see this and years later, but he's married with a family and kids. It'll be very funny. Um, Shout out to, I think her name is Remake. Shout out to you, girl. You just fulfilled a request of your little baby cousin.
That's funny. Okay, do this. Mm-hmm. Ah! You look sickening, darling. Do you want to see it? Okay, look at yourself.
Oh my days.
Okay, get inside.
This is so nice.
It looks pretty there.
Thank you, Jessie.
You're welcome. Do you like it? Okay, cool. But yeah.
I mean, think about the thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All of that should be taken into consideration. All of that. But the first thing we see is, oh, it's negative. It's a negative thing. And that should not make people feel like he's going to be gay. This is my own qualms about it. Yes, I'm gay. And so I have, I feel a certain way about it. But at the same time, I don't think people should be bashed for their interaction. Now, I have, like I said, I have little cousins. Ain't no way I'm doing something like that for my little cousins without her knowing about it. And she'll give me direction on it. But that's with anything. I'm not taking them out her house and taking them anywhere without her knowing about it. How is that any different? Just being honest. Clearly ain't nobody gonna hit the link. It's 4 of us in here just chit chatting. Thank y'all for being here, whoever it is. Thank y'all for hearing me rant about this topic. I just was really last night when I saw it, I was like, wow. Okay, so people are mad at her for that, but there are so many other things out here people aren't upset about. Obviously, it wasn't, nobody died. Excuse me, nobody died. Ain't nobody in jail. You can't you can't put child abuse charges on her. You can't do none of that. Half the shit that some of these people we see online with their children, you can really go and take it somewhere. You can really go and push it forward. baby. So interesting. Let's see. Okay. Make sure y'all hit that like. I got 10 likes. The crew is really, really sleep. They knocked out tonight. Okay. Um, well, that's I mean that's the gist of it. That's what I wanted to talk to y'all about it, and I hope hopefully y'all able to go on Twitter and just go read some of those nasty negative comments. Like, here's her Twitter page. If you see it up here at these lumps underscore, go check it out. Go see what she's talking about and go check it out. I think it'll be an interesting conversation to have. Is it wrong or is it not wrong? There's so many things about this that I think our culture we need to talk about. We need to have at the forefront. So thank you all for allowing me to come and have this conversation. And I really did wish somebody would have hit the link so we could talk about it. But and I know I wasn't gonna be able to put this in my morning show. Okay. All right. Um Crew. um, let me see. I think that's everybody in here. All right. Well, all right, y'all. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'll see y'all in the morning in a couple hours. What time is it? It's 3:10. I see y'all like 6:30. I see y'all like 7 with some hot topics. Damn, I wish y'all had hit the link so we could have. I wish I could have did it yesterday. I should have did it this morning. Had this conversation this morning. Oh well. Yes, Naries. Thank you. I'll see you in the morning. Thank you. Shout out to the crew and to the replay crew. If you made it this far, thank you so much. Hit the like button. And I'll see y'all in the morning on our Hot Topics local news show. Deuces.